I find that in this world that we are living in right now, which has almost fewer boundaries, it seems like we are more digitally connected than we ever have been. Problems of distance between two people is now not stopping us from being in touch with each other. Even just today, I was having a conversation with another friend who was talking about their grandmother is now FaceTiming more. My grandmother just got onto Portal with Facebook Messenger herself. So it seems like we have a lot fewer boundaries in some ways. A lot of ways we're much closer, but all the same time, I'm feeling like I'm spending a lot of time still working on holding my boundaries and even just understanding and being clear with myself and with the people around me, like what my boundaries actually are right now and what does that look like in a situation that we are in right now. So I'll tell you what I'm up to, and if you are having some problems with your boundaries or realizing that maybe you don't have any and you would like to get some, we'll talk about that. So I am Owen. Thank you so much for joining. I hope that you will subscribe. And something very special today. I have something very exciting for you. It is a 30-day challenge that I have been working on for the last few months, and we are getting started. We are getting started now, like right away. It's happening very fast. So this will help you to do exactly what we've been talking about. A lot of the things we've been talking about. It will help you build your online community. It will help you feed your passion, build your future, and help others. So we'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of this video, but I'm very excited about it and it's happening now, and I wanted to tell you here first. So um, I was reading a crazy statistic that since the coronavirus has happened, since the lockdown and the shutdowns have happened, that on average, Americans are working 3 more hours a day. Now that we're all working from home, we're working 3 more hours a day. That's craziness. That's insanity. What is going on out there? I heard that it was a study that was done on Bloomberg this morning, and they did the study by taking a look at laptop use, it wasn't just like other people on their laptops and streaming and whatnot. No, they were looking at specifically how people were using their laptops during the course of this day, and they even found that on a whole, streaming time went down and email time went up. So the question comes to like why? Why is this happening? Right now we're sort of freed of offices and that whole having to sit around in an office all day and spending time sitting around in an office. And they're saying that the psychology behind some of the office behavior was that if you were in the office, you were considered to be working. So being in the office, so it took a lot of pressure off, right? So just being there, you're getting credit for working, perhaps on some psychological level, perhaps for employees, for bosses. I mean, look, I get it. I get it. There were many times that I went into an office just to sit in that chair, just to get credit for being there, whether I was actually being productive or not. So now that that is not an option, now that you can't get credit for going into an office and sitting in a chair, they're finding that people are having to prove themselves, or finding that they feel like they need to prove themselves more to their bosses, to other people, by being more productive, by doing more work, by working harder, to show that they're still really valuable from working from home. So I don't know, maybe this is you. I will certainly say that I have found myself working a lot more since this has happened. And from a lot of things that I'm doing for myself and a lot of things I'm doing for work. But I have found that there has been a lot, and perhaps on some level too. I'm trying to prove that I can be productive, and it feels good to be productive in a time when a lot of productivity is shut down. But this is where the problems begin. So for me, I used to be a big people pleaser, right? Like trying to prove myself to somebody else. At the core of that is me being a people pleaser, and this used to be a big problem for me. One second. How are you, Tom? What's going on? Going to the office reminding me of quote from Office Space. Seems like you've been missing a lot of work lately. Well, I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, for sure. I have not been missing it. But yeah, but here, right? Working longer. A lot of us is still working longer, right? So being a people pleaser, proving something to somebody else, being a people person. What is that? For me, when I was really all about pleasing other people, I got really uh, easily, I took it very personally if somebody didn't like something I said or something that I did. And I reacted very quickly and very, sort of aggressively to remove my own behavior and just erase whatever was offending somebody else just to keep them around in my life. I broke personal boundaries all the time, and many times I would not have time to help somebody out or to do a particular thing with a friend or somebody, but to avoid saying no, I can't do that, and the possibility of hurting them, right? I would put myself out and use energy I didn't have to go do that, and then end up what happened is feeling really resentful, feeling really angry all the time, and I felt really kind of angry at other people a lot until I realized that I was really more just angry at myself for being the one who was really shortchanging me the whole time by being a jerk to myself, by not giving myself the space that I needed. So, keeping boundaries is like it basically at the core of it is it happened once I was not so worried about what other people thought about me. It happened once I was able to trust myself, to understand that I've got what I need, right? And I can get what I need. And yeah, not everybody is on the same page with me. I'm not on the same page with everybody else, right? Like, who are you on the same page with or not? So I get it. As soon as I became okay with that idea, then suddenly it became a lot easier for me to keep and hold the boundaries in my life that I really need. And it's great. Like putting in boundaries about my around my time, about who I will spend my time with, who I will speak to, how I will speak, how I will show up. Just very even very basic things, right? How much will I eat during the day, right? These kinds of things. So I find that once I have that kind of confidence, once I understand, it's like okay, I've got some value to it. Then it was a lot easier to hold boundaries, and especially now when everybody's figuring out what all the new boundaries actually are. Take a minute to think. What is it that you want? What is it that you want? Trust yourself. What do you want your world to look like now that the world looks like this? And set up your boundaries around that. Set up your boundaries and hold them. And when you trust yourself and you do your boundaries to serve yourself and to serve what it is that you're doing, to serve your passion, then you won't feel so bad about it. You're doing it in service of something greater and something that you're passionate about, and it'll feel great. You'll get what you need. You'll be happy. Everyone will be happy. It'll be great. We'll have good, healthy boundaries. So on that note, around your passion, around boundaries. So, 30-day challenge is coming up. I hope that you will join. I will be sharing everything, my entire playbook with you on how you can build an online community right now around your passion, how you can take your passion, do something that helps other people, that brings people together, that helps build a future for you, and just helps other people. So, if you want some more details about this, I was hoping to have the page up and ready for you today. Of course, I am catching up. I don't have it yet, but here's the deal. I am offering practically free pricing on this for the first, let's say, about 10 people who show up, who sign up for this. So if you are interested in doing it, then shoot me an email right now at owen@owenjward.com. I will put this in the chat here so you've got it. But shoot me an email, and I don't have the page for you to sign up. But if you shoot me an email, I'll count that as you getting in. So the first 10 people come in and get the special pricing, and I'll send you some more details on it as well. So thank you. Keep those boundaries, and I will talk to you tomorrow.